Knock knock.
Who's there?
Mr. Rel?
Surprise!
Oh, where's Miss Alexis?
Oh, hindi siya available for today's video. Char.
Wow. So will you host for today?
Yes, Miss Nam.
Wow, our very own executive producer. Wow.
Kinikilig ako. Huwag kang ganyan.
You introduce yourself naman, Miss Executive Producer, so everyone will know who's behind of this high cast project, diba?
Hi po, I'm host L, your lovely but not
So,
makulit host for today.
yes naman. Serving with integrity.
Connecting with sincerity.
Here in Highcast Exclusive.
Presents Plates o Plates? Yung isa panghakot, yung isa naman panakot.
An original High News Senior podcast.
And also Spotify, powered by Anchor. Ayan! So our hashtag for today is hashtag gabay.
Yes, our hashtag Kahbay, which was explained in the first episode of the Strand series. And if you're staying tuned with our Strand series, our hashtag Kahbay, GA for GAC, H for HSC, BA for BAC, and I for IEA. Diba? Super witty.
Yes, thanks to Mr. Gab for that witty hashtag.
So how are you naman, Miss Rel, to be in this podcast, diba? Because you're always behind naman this project.
I feel nervous but excited at the same time. This is
Yes,
my
diba?
first time. Yes, this is my first time hosting, so please guide me. Ikaw naman, Miss Jade, kumusta? It's your second time ba?
Yes, it's second, but there's still, there's still kaba. But then again, this project always excites me whenever we have one. And for me naman, for the past week, diba, we had so many events with Paud, Intramurals, and Cloverleaf. And we're always on the final stretch. Final term na tayo. And with that, we as a grade 11 student, diba, we are preparing na to choose our grade 12 strand. So today we have our guest. Let's
Yes.
introduce them, Miss Rel. Yes, for our first guest for this episode, she's a Silver Academic Awardee, an activist, an occasional artist, a journalist, and a former editor in chief on in her junior high school. Let's welcome Miss Rose Ann Peña from 12 St. Ferdinand. Hello, Miss Rosie.
Hello po. Ang kabog ng introduction ko kahit ang memo ng credentials ko. Thank you. Hala,
How are you feeling today?
sakto lang po. Medyo sabog din po. Yun lang.
Ayan. And for our second guest, she's also from Saint 12 Saint Ferdinand. She's a consistent honors student. She graduated junior high school with high honors, completed grade 11 with high honors, is running for highest honors this grade 12. Lastly, she was the student council secretary in her previous school. Ayan. Hello, Miss Crugel.
Hello! My
Hi
gosh,
po.
grabe naman yung mga credentials.
Kumusta naman kayo, Miss Crazy?
Ito, medyo nilalamig sa aircon pero kakayanin. Lalong kinakabahan.
Ayan. So, now that we have introduced our guests, we have some reminders. This episode is the third part of our special segment that is focused on each strand of AUFIS. It is for students who plan to continue their last year of senior high school in AUFIS.
Opinions of the host and the guest do not speak for the whole experience of whichever strand is discussed.
We're simply here to help fellow Angelinians to decide which strand they will be interested in.
Yes. Thank you for listening as always.
Wait lang, wag muna kayong aalis. Di ba kami tapos?
Yes, just like other strands, we want to ask our guests for today, what are the myths and misconceptions that you've heard as an IEA student? Let's start with Miss Crazy.
Yung pinakamadalas kong naririnig is magaling sa math. Like,
Mm,
ewan ko ba, isa yun sa mga weakness ko, bakit sinasabi nila. It's like, hindi naman lahat ng taong nagpa-pursue ng IEA ay magaling sa math. Some others like gusto ng IT, or maybe they just like doing arts like for architecture, mga ganon.
yeah. And we'll discuss this further no in our next segment. How about Miss Rosie?
Um, in general, 'di ba yung mga grade 11 students, naghahanap sila talaga ng elective or yung strand na may elective na madali, pero lahat sila mahirap.
Mm-mm.
Lahat sila
That's
mahirap.
true.
'Pag mag-e-exam na kayo, lahat ng strand sa electives nila nangangamote. And I think dapat pumipili na lang sila ng strand na kung saan sila kung saan lang sila nila nagka-gravitate para sa career
Mm-mm.
nila. Mm.
Yeah, and as a grade 11 student, I think I can prove that na we always look for the easiest one na strand. Pero I can't speak for all naman. But for me kasi, kasi lahat naman sila STEM-based, diba? So, we choose the elective that we want the most and we, parang dun kami mag-excel. But then again, like the previous episodes that in the Strand series, lahat ng electives, as much as it is hard, may specialization kasi, so that's why it's good, 'di ba? And
Yes, I agree.
how about
Well,
you, Miss Rural?
as a grade 12 HSC student, sobrang agree ako kay Miss Rosie dun sa pag-electives na nangangamote na. Kasi sobrang hirap talaga. And as a HSC student, I think parang hindi ko kaya yung IEA kasi di ako marunong mag-drawing. Wala akong alam sa design, ganon. So, grabe. Sobrang proud. Proud? Sobrang nagagalingan ako sa mga IEA students.
Yeah, 'di ba? Kasi ako, ayan na, I would give the since grade 11 ako, 'di ba? I am choosing between these strands as well. I'm listening to our strand series. And IEA is one of the strands that like, strands that I consider. Not all, pero again, um, hindi kasi ako, yun, undecided pa rin. So, as a part of this, I hope to learn more about it, 'di ba? Kasi ang hirap pagkamali ng pipiliing strand.
Yes, I agree. So before going to the main topic, let's first tackle what IEA is. So IEA stands for Information Technology, Engineering, and Architecture. This strand is a specialized course under the STEM track offered by the AUF-IS Senior High School. The IEA track aims to give a faithful glimpse of reality to those Angelinians who aspire to be analysts, master builders, innovators, engineers, and specialists in the physical world.
Yes, so like every other strand, there are electives that makes this strand special. That's why they are parang separated, diba? Even though we are STEM, that's why we call them substrand. So these electives are technical drafting for the first semester. In this course, students are introduced to manual drafting principles designed to develop one's skills for one or more engineering drawing specialties. Students will start with basic drafting procedures and techniques coupled with general exploration of the field. So, Miss Rose, since what's the 'di ba usually kasi common like confusion, 'di ba pag IEA, 'di ba magaling mag-drawing ganyan. But then again, 'di ba technical drafting is different ba from freehand?
From the first, lessons, magta-tackle kami ng freehand para mag-steady yung hand namin. Pero, required talaga yung may measuring tools kami para precise and feel ko para sa'kin hindi naman siya gaanong on the artistic side kasi kailangan talaga precise siya and makakamit mo yun through rulers, gano'n. And need rin siya ng creativity kasi may mga outputs na need ng kunwari ikaw yung gagawa ng sarili mong room, gano'n. I think yun yung pros ng pagiging artist na puwede mo ma-integrate sa technical drafting and yun,
Wow.
gano'n siya.
Kasi ako, hindi naman talaga ako magaling mag-drawing, but I'm still considering IEA 'no. But then one thing that ano, parang nagpawala lang kaba ako kasi hindi naman talaga ako magaling mag-drawing, is the technical drafting. 'Di ba kasi hindi naman talaga kailangan you need to be, creative, but hindi naman na creative kasi 'pag creative we're still parang box lang siya like ano, pero hindi naman creativity. 'Di ba? So, technical drafting, parang tawag dito, what's the term ba? Parang, kumpiyansa ba? Hindi siya kumpiyansa, eh. Parang nawala yung kaba ko about drawing kasi sa technical drafting kasi you still need to be precise with these measurements, ganyan-ganyan, 'di ba? That can ano, be helped with tools such as rulers, ganyan.
So, ayun. For our second semester elective, we have web designing. In this elective course, students will be introduced to the history of the internet and HTML. Miss Chris, andyan ka pa ba?
Yes, buhay mo na buhay pa.
So, Miss Chris, can you discuss web designing para sa mga...
Actually, okay. So, web design, it's like you are basically, bumabalik ka sa pinaka-basics ng HTML. That's why inaral din namin yung history of internet, web, and the HTML itself. And then, actually, yung pinaka-challenging sa web design, hindi lang yung pagko-code, pero yung mga essay na pinapagawa about those certain history or something like yung mga elements. And as for me, na wala talagang background sa coding, actually, medyo mahirap siya compare sa technical drafting kasi merong mga TLE before but now medyo challenging siya for me because you need to really know what are the codes, kung paano siya i-execute, kung saan siya ipa-place, and kailangan talaga siyang aralin ng makinig before you can able to do your outcome kasi minsan yung mga pinapagawa, kailangan ikaw yung magde-design or mag-iisip ng mga mismong codes mo tas i-apply mo lahat ng mga naturo, parang ganon.
Hmm. That sounds
Mm,
ano, beyond challenging, yun nga, 'di ba? Tinatakot tuloy
yes,
ako ni
I
Miss
agree.
Chris, 'di na ata ako mag-IE.
Ay, hindi naman.
So, ano naman, curious ako sa research nila kasi each strand, iba-iba yung research. So, pwede niyo baka may bigyan ng parang glimpse, ganon. If ano yung kailangan yung gawin for your research. Miss Rosie, ikaw.
Actually magka-research kami ni Miss Crazy. Magka-research kami and
Yes.
tina-tackle namin design pero yung ibang group katulad nung group ni Sir Gab, shoutout sa'yo, kaklase ko siya, yung host ng Highcast. Yung research nila, ano siya, nagpo-program sila ng website, yung research nila. And kami naman, yung research namin is about design. It's about minimalism and creating a relaxing space. So, sina Miss Crazy, nag-formulate sila ng parang 3D model ng isang room with minimalistic furniture and elements.
Oh, I see. Go po.
Hindi siya yung typical na research yung katulad ng sa HSC yung mag-experiment sila with gamot and other with medicine. Sa amin talaga parang it's revolving around design.
I see. Ayun. So, meron akong question. If sa coding kasi, sobrang curious ako ever since. Pag ba may mali ka na code, kailangan mong ulitin lahat. Miss Crazy?
Hindi naman. Actually, hindi naman siya ganun ka-sensitive. Kapag may mali ka, you just have to delete it and then save it once again. Kapag kasi nagko-coding ka, naka-open yung parang notepad mo and then the Google Chrome. Ganun yung ginagawa ko personally.
Hindi po ba naglalag yung mga device nyo? Pag ganun
Quiet,
ginagawa
actually.
nyo.
Oo, kaya kapag klase, medyo natataranta lahat. Lalo na, dapat natatapos siya within the time, ganun.
So, before before mag-end yung class, dapat may nagagawa kayo?
Yes, i-check siya one by one nun. Either screenshot or share screen.
I see. Miss Jade, ano namang may gusto ka bang itanong sa mga guests?
Yeah. Yes, Miss Jeriel, I'm also curious, 'di ba? Miss Crazy mentioned kanina that she also struggled with coding kasi she does not have a background sa coding. So how are you parang grappling sa research kapag gano'n? Kasi does it include coding din?
Okay, so just like what Rose have said, magka-group kami sa research and in doing our research, walang coding related na nangyari. Since focus kami sa designing and then improving yung mga dapat tandaan sa minimalism. Kasi it's like our research evolve on helping the homeowners realize kung ano yung magandang maidudulot ng minimalism sa bahay. Not just for the design but also for their mental health, mga ganong bagay.
So how is coding parang integrated with research? Meron ba?
Yung kinagab ata, as far as I remember, meron silang programming. So parang gagawa sila ng, it's like I don't know if shop ba siya or whatsoever, basta website siya na dun mangyayari yung mga bagay-bagay sa mga tao.
Yes.
I also wanted to add na yung misconception na kailangan magaling ka sa technology or kailangan may background ka, hindi rin yun yung case kasi ako rin wala rin akong background sa paggawa ng HTML. Pero it helps 'pag visual learner ka, yung 'pag titignan mo yung examples ng coding and kung ano yung itsura ng product, makikita mo kung paano mai-integrate yung mga elements ng coding sa work mo. And yun, slowly matututo ka, "Ay yung ganito pala, ito yung magiging kalabasan." Bale yun yung gist niya.
Sa lang siya 'di ba, dun lang siya sa web design. So, sa web design lang yung coding part, gano'n?
Exactly, parang, actually parang basic siya ng web design 'di ba? Hindi siya yung full-blown website. Para siya yun nga, HTML yung itsura niya. So basic, very basic.
'Di ba yung research ata nila Miss Harriet, gagawa sila ng website. 'Di ko alam paano nila kaya yun.
So, Miss Jade, after hearing those words, gusto mo pa ba mag-IEA?
Hindi kasi naman, pinapakaba ako. Actually naman, yun na nga, ako din, I'm interested in coding ganyan. Tas they mentioned 'di ba na sobrang minimal lang naman yung nandun. So I was wondering kaya, how would like my interest in coding kasi 'di ba konti lang yung coding dun. So
Yes.
I was expecting maybe kasi there's more, I'm gonna ask the host I host to like I'm gonna ask the guest later. Kasi there are my classmates na interested mag-take ng computer science, ganyan, and they're taking IEA expecting that they're gonna learn parang mga Python, ganyan, blah, blah, blah. Hindi pa siya dun, 'di ba, Miss our guest?
Which guest?
Kahit sino po. Si Miss Crazy.
If you're willing to take the risk naman, hindi naman siya ganun ka-focus sa coding kasi second semester mo lang naman siya ite-take and one subject at a time lang naman siya. So, marami ka naman matututunang ibang bagay just like in the technical drafting if you're willing to do it for that, for architecture, ganun, which is kung anong ginawa ko. I think worth it naman siya. Hindi naman iikot sa coding yung buong semester or yung buong pag-aaral mo. Marami ka pang maaaral na iba and the opportunity are endless din naman.
Oh, that's nice. So, paano yung mga I'm just curious din sa mga exam ninyo.
Sa exam, if sa technical drafting, may drawing every exam na lagi naming hinahabol sa oras kasi hindi siya sapat. And then for the coding, last prelim, essay lang siya, but the midterms, pinakode na talaga kami, which is nagkaroon din ng problem sa oras. Lagi kami may problema sa oras.
That's
I
true,
see.
no?
Speaking of time, let's go back to technical drafting. Kasi syempre, hindi lang naman for sure isang plate yung gagawin nyo. Paano nyo na ma-manage yung time nyo? Kasi hindi lang naman to yung subject nyo. Mayroon pang physics, calculus, and more. So, how do you manage your time nung first semester?
I manage my time when, 'di ba, sa technical drafting. Sa technical drafting, umaabot talaga yung kahit basic shapes lang, basic lines, kasi malaki yung plate eh. Sobrang laki kasi laki siya ng half cartolina. So it will take like 3 hours, 3 hours siguro or 2 hours minimum, ganon. So, masa-sacrifice talaga yung time mo. So, for my case, yung free time talaga mate-take up siya. Pero it's bearable when you make it fun. Kaya while I do it, I listen to podcast, ganon. Or legit to, nakikinig ako ng podcast habang gumagawa ako ng plate. And bigla ko na mamamalayan, ay, paggabi na, patapos na ako. And then yun, you just have to sacrifice your time. I mean, it's very, may burden din siya sometimes, lalo na pag busy ka and packed yung schedules mo. But,
Mm-mm.
it's fun
I
when you make it
see.
fun po.
So, ano yung paper na ginagamit nyo for drafting? And pinaprovide ba yun ng AUF?
Yung drafting paper namin, personally, ginagamit ko yung sa AUF kasi meron na siya yung automatically may margins na siya and meron na siya ng AUF logo sa gilid and hindi ka na magse-spend ng time. Hindi ka na magse-spend ng time sa pag-margin and sa pag-margin. Then, pwede naman na gumamit ka ng half cartolina, yung hindi provided ng AUF, lalo na sa mga malayo sa campus or wala silang access sa drafting paper. They can use half cartolina.
Okay. So, aside from yung drafting paper, ano pa yung mga other materials na pwedeng bilhin, I guess, ng mga future IEA students? Like, ano yung may-recommend nyo?
Actually, sa mga future IEA students, it's required. Lahat ng materials na ginagamit namin, it's required. Hindi lang siya yung parang, it's optional, but you can buy this. Hindi. Pero yung T-square, it's the most important one. Yung mga rulers, yung mga triangles, you all need it. Kasi ang essential talaga nila. And magagamit mo rin sila sa college kung yun yung tinatahak mong profession.
So, sobra expensive din pala maging IEA student. So, going deeper pa sa technical drafting, our guest mentioned, 'di ba, it takes 3 hours. Ano yun, parang average time you spent na yun?
Yes, average time. Pero pag medyo basic yung plate, oo, matagal pa rin siya. Matagal pa rin siya kasi kahit simpleng pagsulat lang ng pangalan mo, it takes like 15 minutes. Kasi you have to have good
Kasi
handwriting.
mm, 'Cause I remember back when my previous school, lipat ako ng lipat. So, I had the chance to experience drafting. Tapos parang konting lagpas ko ng millimeters ba yun. So, parang ma-minus na agad sa grade ko yun. And I remember it was so hard getting even a 90 kasi yung lines mine-measure talaga ng parang teacher namin. So, parang 'pag sa iba kasi 'pag essay kina-cram ko, 'di ba madali lang mag-type. So, parang sa, drafting ang hirap i-cram, 'di ba?
Yes, miss, ang hirap talagang ikram. Kaya important din yung time management. Maaga mo nang gawin, don't procrastinate, ganun.
Yeah, grabe. Salute to all IEA students and to others na rin kasi 'di ba, not lahat ng electives talagang mga
Yeah. Sobrang agree ako dun sa sobrang hirap ng drafting because when I was in 8th grade, meron akong drafting and grabe. Yung ini-aim ko na 90, hindi ko makuha. Laging, yung
Mm.
grade ko, it's either nasa 70 or, hindi naman 70, but like, 78 to, let's say, 86 or 85, 85 or 86. Ganun lang talaga
Mm.
yung grade ko. Kasi, I'm not really good with, using, what do you call this? Rulers, ganon. Yung, I don't know what you call that long ruler. Yung ginagamit sa
Yung
drafting.
T-square. Yung T-square, yung
Yeah,
malaki.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that one. Grabe, sayang yung pera doon. Kasi, hindi naman ako pero required siya. Kaya, ayun, sayang lang. If you want po ng T-square, binibenta ko po yung akin. Joke lang.
Yeah, same experience with Miss Jarel, 'di ba? I had a drafting nung junior high. Tapos yung pinaka-highest ko na siguro parang 87 gano'n. And it's very hindi naman sa unusual, pero kasi sa ibang subject, sa ibang subject may 90 plus ganyan. Tapos yun lang yung natatanging line of 8 ko na nagde-drag down sa grade. So napakahirap mag-drafting, 'di ba? Beside from the coding that we mentioned, lahat talaga you need to be meticulous sa details, which I guess needs the needs for every grade 11 na aspiring IEA to be aware of or to be prepared of, 'di ba?
Yes, I agree. Plus, for sure naman, worth it yung plates, lalo na super foundation na yan ng mga future architects natin.
Mm.
Agree din kasi ako sa sinasabi niyo na ang meticulous talaga. Nung pumasok ako sa IEA, di ko expect na yung kahit konting detail lang na kahit smudges, gano'n, mapapansin ng prof 'yan. And, ask ko lang, pinag-aralan niyo ba yung parang lettering? Yung lettering, yung writing ng engineer or architect, gano'n, in
Ay,
your
buti na lang hindi.
ay, grabe.
Yes,
Kasi,
hindi
for sure, yung grade namin doon, 55, 70.
Hala, pero sa mga lesson sa ano, sa IEA ay sa technical drafting, ang weird kasi sa lettering pa ako bumabagsak, dun pa mababa yung grade ko. Kasi hindi mo naman mine-measure word for ay letter for letter yung mga letters kaya easy siya mukhang madumi or madungis kaya dun ako bumababa, yun yung nakakasira sa grade ko.
really. So kapag madungis, inuulit mo ba siya? Like buo?
Oo. Grabe, kunwari
Aba!
biglang lumagpas lang ng konti, kunwari letter R sa pangalan ko, first letter pa lang yun, yung konting lagpas lang, hala, bagong papel na naman 'to. Kasi 'pag binura mo, there are marks, yung graphite, magma-mark siya.
Mm.
Kaya yung 'pag nagkamali lang ako sa letter, uulitin ko. Buti hindi mo pa nasisimulan yung object dun, kaya inuuna ko yung lettering bago ako mag-start sa plate para madali.
Grabe, it takes time and patience talaga to make,
Ta's wala ako nun, ta's balak ko pa mag How about Miss Crazy naman? What's your parang frustrations about technical drafting or web designing?
Um, One of my frustrations din is yung smudges. Kasi with the pencil we use, nakalimutan ko yung brand, basta for engineering and architecture yung lapis. Madali siyang mag-smudge kasi medyo makakapal yung mga nilalabas niyang sulat. So, isang ganun lang, mag-smudge siya or either babakal siya sa papel kahit burahin mo. Kaya you really need to be careful kapag gumagawa ka. Although unlike Rose, inuuna ko yung object before the name kasi madaling mag-smudge sa akin yung pangalan kapag nagdo-drawing ako sa kamay ko. Ganun.
Hmm, 'di ba sobrang nakakatakot tuloy. But
kaya mo
like
yan, Miss Jade.
yeah, do you have parang tips naman, parang to lessen naman, parang during the process of siyempre madami naman kayong ginagawang drafting, what are the tips that you can share for the future IA students?
If regarding siya sa time management, you really need to calculate kung kailan mo gagawin yung mga bagay-bagay. Kasi once na nagbigay na yung ibang subjects, mahirap nang isingit yung schedule mo for technical drafting kasi hindi lang nagbibigay ng 1 plate per week yung prof namin.
Mm.
At least minimum na ibinibigay niya sa amin 3 per week. Ganun siya kabigat. So, hangga't meron kang free time, you do it right now kasi uso naman sa IEA yung ibibigay na earlier the deadline para agad siya matapos and then 1 week yung submission, ganun.
Hmm. Sa web designing ba, ano naman yung parang pinaka gusto niyo sabihin for the future IA students to prepare for?
For web design naman, if meron kayong time, pwede na kayong mag-browse sa W3CE para makita yung mga code na available. Kasi nandun, kahit yung mga basic lang, yung mga p-tag, yung mga HTML na basic like the body, like the B-tag, para mag-bold,
Mm.
yung mga simple tags na pwede mong matandaan para kapag nag-start kayo, meron ka ng idea. And once na gumagawa kayo ng mga peta, ganun, pwede mo pang ma-add on yung mga nalaman mo before the actual discussion for your second semester. Kasi hindi talaga siya madali. Kailangan mo ng oras para maintindihan yung pagko-code kasi meron ding alignment, meron ding kailangan na sundan. One mistake lang, like naglagay ka lang ng dot, naglagay ka lang ng dash, pwede nang magulo yung mismong code mo. So, you need to be careful talaga.
Yeah,
I
one thing last
see.
na siguro I'm curious of, do you get the codes from the internet din? Like, is it possible to like just copy and paste?
It is possible naman, although our teacher kasi, like, he gives us like template na pwede naming i-copy then i-define namin on our own. Kasi lagi siyang may pinapa-save na examples ng gagawin namin pero yung mga gagawin namin may mga konting twist na kailangan i-apply para mas maging maayos yung outcome ng output.
Hmm.
I see.
Yeah,
So,
kasi we had din, like last na. So we had din, like had an experience din kasi with like hindi naman siya web design, but I had an experience with HTML, CSS, and parang may SQL ba yun? If,
Yeah.
oo. So, yun. Kasi sa amin kasi, pwede naman kami mag-copy and paste. Pero, pag yung kunwari, may isang error in this line something, tapos aayusin mo siya. Pero pag naayos mo na, there's more errors. May iyak ka na lang talaga.
Yes, yun yung hindi downside ng pagka-copy-paste kasi hindi lahat na nasa internet tama yung position.
yun.
Mm.
So, I heard from, yung mga iba kong IEA friends. Sabi nila na, yung sa may web design, yung exam nyo essay. So, paano yun? Paano nyo siya, paano nyo nagagawa yun?
Actually, yun talaga yung time consuming sa exam. Tapos, recently pa for the midterm, we need to make an essay at least 10 to 15 sentences, dalawa, tapos may coding pa sa dulo. Kaya, time pressure talaga yung kalaban mo kapag nag-exam ka. Tsaka, in making an essay kasi, usually sa amin, medyo umiikot lang yung mga tanong. Kaya kung may time ka, whenever you review, mag-establish ka na siguro ng mga ideas and thoughts mo bago pa mag-start yung exam para agad mo siyang matapos.
I see. Yeah, ano naman, curious ako sa kung paano yung day-to-day schedule nyo. Like, I mean, kung how an IEA student day goes by, what do you usually do if maraming workload, ganon? And ano yung mga conditions? Paano nyo kino-condition yung sarili nyo to finish this certain workload? Start with Miss Rosie.
May time management po regarding, sa first sem naman po, bigla na lang there are days na biglang may drive ako or may motivation ako to finish it all at once, which is unhealthy 'yun, that will lead to burnout. So you
Mhm.
can take it one day at a time or like a day apart. And yung sa web design naman, it will take an hour, an hour to code an HTML. So um after class you can do it. You can do it. Tapos yun, 'pag tapos ka na sa HTML na yun, puwede mo ng 'pag tapos ka na sa HTML puwede kang magpahinga and then the next day kung may a-add kang design na gusto mo for your creativity, you can add it. So, gano'n.
How about you naman, Miss Crazy?
As for me kasi medyo unhealthy yung routine ko sa paggawa ng mga school works and school notes, gano'n. Kasi I'm a morning person. Hindi ako nagpa-function tuwing gabi. Medyo nalulutang ako, gano'n. So, ang ginagawa ko, I wake up early and then I finish at least 1 to 3 activities at a time. Tapos, as in earlier the deadline, 1 week before the deadline, ginagawa ko siya. Kasi I have this anxiety na kapag di ko siya nagawa within the week, hindi ko na siya magagawa next week because of the pressure and anxiety na malapit na yung deadline. So, lagi nga nila akong tinatawag na masyadong early bird sa mga gawain. Kaya gano'n.
I can't relate to that kasi night person
Same.
ako. Like, depende kasi. There are times na morning mas nagfa-function ako tapos sa gabi siguro depende lang, 'di ba? Pero yun, I think mas marami akong na-accomplish kapag gabi. So, grabe to all morning person na bumabangon ng maaga. Grabe, di ko kaya.
Same. Mas gusto ko nagwo-work ng gabi kasi dun gumagana yung utak ko. Sobrang opposite kami ni Miss Crazy. And now, let's tackle naman yung mga myths and misconceptions about IEA track and IEA students. So dito, mahahati siya into 2. Yung 3 for Miss Rosie, yung other 3 kay Miss Crazy. So, may mga sasabihin kaming myths and misconceptions and you have to tell us if debunk or truth. So let's start with Miss Miss Rosie. So Miss Rosie, let's start. First is magaling mag-drawing. Second is tech savvy. Third is magaling mag-math. Anong masasabi mo doon, Miss?
Myth lahat, myth lahat. I'm so sorry, pero myth lahat. Yung kasi, ay hala, yung sa magaling mag-drawing, hindi ko alam kung I can speak for all people kasi nag-e-enjoy ako mag-draw. Pero I can improve pa naman, pero 'pag sa magaling mag-drawing, siguro yung mga friends ko nagsa-struggle, yung mga kaklase din namin yung mga hindi artistic, yung nag-e-aim to be engineer or for computer sciences, nahihirapan sila and I can't speak for them kaya hindi ko po alam kung myth po 'yan or fact. Yung tech savvy naman po, I don't think so kasi ako rin po I feel like I'm a boomer, regarding sa mga technology and I can handle HTML well kasi sobrang basic niya. It's like, babalik ka talaga sa 90s yung kung kailan talaga nag-start yung mga computers kasi nag-start sila sa HTML before yung websites that we know today. And yung last naman po, yung magaling mag-math, that's my biggest weakness po. And kinayanan ko naman po, nakapasa naman po ako. And and if you enjoy math, it's a plus, it's a bonus kasi yung mga lessons breezy na lang or easy na lang sa'yo, yun. It's a bonus.
Ayun. I have a say dun sa magaling mag-math. Kasi, oo, IEA students take units of math. Pero, yung Strand nila, hindi lang naman dun nakafocus. Sa HSC, meron din math. Sa, BAC, syempre, business and accounting yun, so may math. Sa GAC, for sure, may math din yun. Kasi meron tayong physics and calculus. So, I think lahat naman magaling mag-math. It's just that masyadong, anong tawag dito, masyadong na-focus sa IEA somehow because of engineering. Ayan.
Really? Yun din sana yung tatanungin ko. Like, for people who wants to pursue, like, IEA sa mga grade 11 next year, ano yung parang, would it be a disadvantage kapag di ka magaling mag-math? Pero parang given na din yun, di ba? Like, ano yung parang gaps nun, for example, kapag nanganga pa sa math? Kasi for me, hindi naman sa nagsa-struggle ako ng math. Siguro ng online class lang. Kasi kapag nagma-math, I take more time kasi to study the actual lesson, I mean, yung pag, like, after class, yun pa yung aaralin ko mismo. Kasi hindi ko siya nagigets online. So, paano kaya yun kapag for others naman? Is it a disadvantage?
True. Sobrang hirap ng math, especially sa platform natin ngayon. It's online. And it's a disadvantage kasi merong lesson din sa technical drafting. Yan na naman tayo, yung scales. Yung scales talaga, yung big object, ita-transfer mo yung measurement niya into a small paper. And nung inisip ko, ay, scales easy lang yan, ratio, 1:2, 2:3. Ganun. No, hindi. Sobrang hirap niya. Sobrang hirap niya. Kaya ngayon, pag pinapaalala sa akin, nangangamote ako because yun nga, sa online learning, hindi siya effective sa akin. Kaya you have to keep in
Mm-mm.
mind na all all strands, they have math. And yung sa IEA, yun yung experience ko doon. Yung there are lessons, merong lessons na nagtatackle doon.
So as early as now, no, for people who wants to take IEA, if you can, diba, take your time na to learn, siguro just a glimpse or the gist of calculus and physics. Diba, naiiyak na ako. Di na ata ako mag-IEA.
Grabe ka na, Miss Jade.
Joke lang. Pero so far naman, yun lang, diba? Yun lang yung tinitake note ko. Like, math. Grabe. Math. Naiiyak na ako. Math. Ayoko na. Parang, sabi mo palang math, maiiyak ka na. So,
Good
yun,
luck.
'di ba?
Kakayanin mo yan. Promise. Konting-konting kayod, kakayanin.
Yes. Thank you. So,
Thank
next na ba tayo?
Wait lang. Ang iiyakan mo lang sa grade 12 is physics. I swear. Mahirap
Talaga
siya.
ba?
Yeah. Pero siguro ikaw, depende naman kasi sa student yan. Malay mo, sa'yo, madali lang pala siya. Pero kasi sa akin,
Ay,
iniiyakan ko
mm.
talaga yan gabi-gabi.
Ayun pala. I think. Ay, spoiler. Di ata ako magga-grade 12 sa ano, hindi ata ako magga-grade 12 sa AUF. Tas IEA ako ng IEA 'no. Pero I wanted to. Pero I wanted to, but there are some circumstances that I might not be able to. Pero then again, yun yung nasa isip ko eh. Kasi with HSC, GAC, and BAC, I think I have like, parang may alam na ako doon. Tapos, ewan ko kung saan ako nangihina doon pa gusto-gusto ko. Grabe.
You
Uy,
like,
pero maganda ma-challenge. Yung
yeah,
mga ugaling ganyan, 'pag nacha-challenge ka lagi magiging parang more competent ka, gano'n.
'Di ba? So, parang I was curious of a lot of things sa IEA, sa mga Strand Expo, gano'n, but it wasn't enough. So hearing from from our ates, 'di ba? Pero ayun, may konting kaba, hindi naman mawawala 'yon kahit saan namang Strand, 'di ba? Now let's move on naman to Miss Crazy. Here are the myths and misconceptions, debunk or fact. Number one, kapag IEA ba, engineering and architecture kaagad ang kukunin? Number two naman, gusto lang ng pera ng mga students who want to take up IT. Grabe kayo. And number three, super easy and fun.
Um, there are some myths, but I don't think lahat naman totoo and lahat fake. For the
Mm.
engineering and architecture yung kukunin, actually, majority of in our class, yun yung kukunin, to be honest. Nung nag-survey or nagtanong yung mga teacher during the introduction. But meron din naman talaga mag-IT, kaya kumuha ng IEA. So, hindi lahat kukuha. Pero majority, yun yung kukunin. Kasi for technical drafting and of course, yung mga IT sa web design, so take advantage din about that. And therefore, sa gusto lang ng pera, yung mga sa IT, I can speak for them kasi personally, I will not be taking IT. So, naririnig ko siya somehow kasi mataas daw yung sweldo sa IT. Although, hindi ko masisiguro yun sa inyo kasi hindi ko talaga alam. I am not researching something for IT. And then for the easy and fun, no, it's not. Lahat ng strand mahirap. Kailangan natin pagsumikapan lahat ng to. Kailangan mo talaga ng time management for doing coding and technical drafting, kaya hindi talaga siya madali. Pero kakayanin mo naman, kaya huwag kang magtatakot mag-take ng IEA. Malay mo naman, di ba?
Yes. Gusto ko lang mag-comment dun sa ano, gusto lang ng pera ng mga students who want to take up IT. Grabe, sino ba naman hindi? Grabe, kahit HSC ako, gusto ko ng pera, 'di ba? You put your labor there, time and effort.
Totoo.
Tapos you are
Lahat
not going
naman.
to ano, 'di ba? So kung 'di mo gusto ng pera, scammer ka, be, char.
I agree. So now naman, I'm curious kung ano yung
I'm
go po,
sorry.
go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Pero habang natatawa kasi ako kasi habang nagsasalita si Miss Crazy parang naiiyak na siya. Super easy
Sorry,
and fun. Hindi siya totoo. Gumagano na siya.
hindi, hindi.
Alam,
Ididiin
hindi po
natin yan.
talaga. Takbo na kayo. Charot. Hindi. Joke lang. Pero masaya
Huwag
yung
ka manakot.
nananakot. Hindi po ako nananakot. Ina-endorse ko po yung IEA. Kung masochist po kayo. Charot. Hindi. Joke lang po.
Grabe.
Charot lang.
'Di ba, we keep on tackling kanina how it is, 'di ba, to be yung mga struggles tas sasabihin dito super easy and fun. Depende siguro 'cause some people naman talaga enjoy, siguro some. I am not for sure. Siguro some enjoy, 'di ba, drawing, yun na nga, sa drafting, tsaka sa mga future, people or students na magte-take ng Com-Sci and IT, siguro 'di ba na-enjoy nilang gumawa ng quotes, and I think some of them na nga from my sa mga classmates ko, they are making their own games na and websites, and I think it depends din talaga sa students. Pero, yeah, wala namang madali.
Yes, I agree. Dun sa may super easy and fun, siguro madali lang mag-drawing ng mga, like, mga LM pa tayo, yung mga simple flowers, yung sobrang basic na tikman, gano'n. Pero ngayon kasi, we're talking about kung paano mo na i-draw yung house na makikita mo lahat ng parts, kung paano ka magko-code, paano ka magde-design ng web. So, yeah. And now naman, sobrang curious ako as bakit nyo pinili? I have a question. Bakit nyo pinili yung IEA strand? Let's start with the Miss Crazy.
Personally, dahil sa pangalan na IT Engineering Architecture, kaya ako siya pinili. Kasi marami akong friends no na sinasabi mag-GAC na lang ako, mag-agency na lang ako para magkakasama kami. Pero binild ko talaga yung ang tawag dito, confidence ko para pumasok dito kasi gusto kong magkaroon na kahit konting-konti lang na knowledge sa technical drafting para man lang may experience ako before jumping into college, gano'n. Kaya ako siya pinili. Well, I think tama naman yung decision ko sa mga nararamdaman ko ngayon. Hindi naman ako nagsisisi.
I see. So, may we know if ano yung future course or profession na gusto mo? And, na-align sa IEA.
Ayan na nga, nabanggit ko na siya kanina. Diniin ko ng konti. Architecture yung binabalak kong kunin.
Miss Rosie, why did you choose the IEA Strand? And ano yung future course or profession na gusto mo?
Actually, nag-change siya last year nung grade 11 ako. Kasi nung junior high ako, sure na sure ako, pumasok ako sa AUF, ay, magme-medicine ako. Magme-medicine ako, mag-agency ako, then boom, med school. No, yun nga yung beauty ng senior high, you'll never know when you'll change your mind, ganun. Kasi nung napansin ko may mga elements na natututunan mo about biology, ganun, sinabi ko, hala, HSC is not for me. Kaya nag-serve ako to IEA kasi I actually realized na parang mas enjoy ko yung drawing. I enjoy art more. Then nung trinay ko na yung technical drafting, ay tama. I actually did the right choice kasi yun. I wanted to pursue architecture then kaya I went to IEA and yun, yung dahil sa pinag-isipan ko nung grade 11 na mag-switch ng strand, that's when I actually enjoyed looking forward for my future profession, which is architecture.
That's so nice, no? Na, ayun na nga, 'di ba? Because of, kasi some people kasi hindi agree sa parang K to 12, like grade 11, 12. But for me, ayun, medyo na-segue tayo konti. Since it will give us more time to explore din. Yun na nga. Ako din, kasi hindi naman talaga ako sure magka-IEA na. But it's nice to have like this path din. Kasi actually, I wanted to take, if possible lang, no? If possible lang, I want to take every strand possible. But hindi ko naman kaya yon. Kasi the beauty of these strands kasi, um, yun na nga, yung mga electives natin, that will really help us advance na when we're in college. So, speaking of college, 'di ba? What are the career paths for IEA student?
So, aside from architecture, we have engineer. Sa engineer, marami siyang fields. Pwede ka sa civil, pwede ka sa electrical, mechanical, chemical, electronic, biomedical, and a lot more. Next is you can be a programmer. Nandito yung mga software engineers, um, web developer, computer scientists, and a lot. Meron din tayong mga analysts. And all these career paths can be all linked to business-related courses or careers.
Yes, 'di ba? Sobrang daming opportunities if you take
Yes.
IEA. Parang, so I say the worth it lahat yung parang struggles. Kapag talaga naman that you enjoy what you're doing. If you are aspiring na sa mga nabanggit na career, you might want to take IEA. Kasi, 'di ba, they are specialized talaga to give you a head start, 'di ba? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And massive din talaga yung yung choices mo. So, medyo hindi ka rin mahihirapan at the same time.
Mm. So, with that, sa mga nabanggit natin kanina, 'di ba, online classes sobrang hirap. How is parang yung mga projects niyo, mga kasi online siya, 'di ba? How do they contribute to your IEA learnings?
Yung, actually marami kaming projects, most especially yung mga electives namin for technical drafting and web design nga. And they contribute to our IEA learning as a motivation din and another knowledge kasi hindi naman lahat inaral to before during the junior high school. Siguro meron tayong glimpse ng mga technical drafting and some computer-related subjects, pero I think yun yung talagang tumatak sa akin since yun yung unique for IEA. Marami siyang naitulong, naintindihan ko sa technical drafting na hindi lang siya basta gagawa ka ng bahay, magdodrawing ka ng mga structures, something like that. marami siyang kailangan aralin, like paano mo gagawing 3D yung 2D, maraming ganong stuff na pumasok sa isip ko and motivated me to do better pa on my future course din. And then for web design, marirealize mo rin na hindi lang siya basta designing a website. You need to make it functional and target audience friendly para ma-navigate nila na maayos yung certain web page. Ganon.
'Di ba? Hearing from Miss Crazy, it really is fun, 'di ba? Kaso 'yun, not di naman laging masaya. We also have to have our own fair share of struggles. But then again, with all that said, 'di ba, your final output will really motivate you kasi masa-satisfy ka na, "Oh, nakaya ko pala 'to." Yung parang dati is, hirap, hirap. But then, when you reach na to your, hindi naman destination kasi wala namang, hindi naman nasa-stop yung learning. Pero pag nakikita mo yung progress mo, 'di ba, mas namo-motivate ka pa to do more. Ayun, it's really nice to learn something new, 'di ba? Ika ng ating mga guest for today. So, with that, how has IEA equipped you with vital skills and knowledge for your future career?
Yung IEA kasi, it really started with the basic, yung technical drafting and yung web design. And yung IEA kasi, yung required nilang pinapabili, madadala ko siya sa college actually, pero I don't know sa mga magpu-pursue ng IT related courses. And yun, so far parang na-practice na rin yung hand mo and yung brain mo to to execute yung mga basic skills na magagamit mo in a professional case.
Ako, may chichika lang ako. Medyo nire-regret ko yung strand ko right now, which is HSC. Though, magme-medtech ako for college, pero gusto ko sana i-take nun BAC kasi merong journal entry, ganon, and nai-enjoy ko yon. So, kayo ba, ni-regret nyo ba na mag-IEA? Miss, Rosie?
Actually, no. Hindi ako nagre-regret sa decision ko kasi I feel like yung sure na ako sa course na tatahakin ko right now.
I see. But in your opinion, what would improve the IEA track?
Actually, I don't know kung, ano yung mai-improve per se, pero I have an opinion that IEA is very versatile. It's ano, double-edged sword kasi. Lalo na sa mga sure sa tatahakin nilang course, 'di ba? Especially kunwari, if you're gonna take an IT-related course, will you need these materials, yung mga kailangan mo sa technical drafting? And siyempre it will cost money, 'di ba? It will cost you financially. So, imagine taking up hours and spending materials for doing plates. Then sa college tatahakin mo is related sa computer and you won't even need it. So, medyo sayang sa time and money and para sa akin naman, it's useful pero sa web design naman, I feel like it's a basic skill that hindi rin naman nakakapanghinayang matutunan. Pero for others na tatahak ng computer-related courses, I feel like medyo disadvantage sa kanila yung part na yun. Pero I don't know how to improve it though. Medyo versatile lang kasi yung IEA.
I see. So, now naman, guests, meron tayong question from a listener. Wow, level up ng highcast. May question. Anyway, the question is, hi, may I ask if you guys deal with hardware, circuits, or any soldering? Yun lang. Thank you so much. Akala ko may kukontinue siya sa question. So, ayun, meron ba kayo, nagdi-deal ba kayo with hardware, circuits, ganon?
Actually, yun din yung misconception ko sa IEA, yung parang akala ko babalik kami sa LM part yung, ay wow, CPU, hardware, monitor, gano'n. Hindi, we did not tackle that. Yung tinakal namin more on software kasi ginamit namin
Mhm.
Microsoft Teams for our discussions, and yung HTML talaga yung part, yung coding talaga. And we did not tackle about yung, akala ko din tatakal namin yung specs, yung mismong personal computer or gadgets, anything computer related. Pero no, it's more on software talaga.
Yes, ang dami na rin natin napag-usapan. And to conclude our today's episode, so, mabilisan na lang to. What are our ultimate tip for aspiring IA students? Kunwari ako na to, ako na yung kausap nyo. Nandito na oh.
My ultimate tips sa mga aspiring IEA students or iniisip ko ninyong IEA track, you just need to know kung saan ka talaga or kung ano talaga yung magagamit mo in the future. Huwag ka magsasayang ng oras or huwag ka magsasayang ng isang taon para sa track na hindi mo naman magagamit. So, if you are eyeing for IEA because of your future course, you should take the risk. Kasi marami ka namang matututunan, I can assure you that. And I am a witness. I am one of those person na nabalik yung passion ko sa drawing and yung perseverance ko para talaga matuloy-tuloy sa architecture because of technical drafting. So, kung gusto mo talaga, kunin mo, wag kang dadalawang isip and don't follow something because it's just norms or bandwagon, something like that. Sundin mo kung ano yung makakatulong sa'yo and yung mga tao sa paligid mo.
Yes, diba? How about from Miss Rosie?
Actually yung pinaka, yung trait talaga na mare-recommend ko on doing, which is is dapat maging pessimistic ka habang grade 11 ka. Isipin mo na yung lahat ng substance, lahat sila mahirap, hala lahat mahirap gano'n. Tapos suddenly mo yung spark, mo yung spark kahit na mahirap. Dun mo kung ano talaga yung gusto mo. Iisipin mo na, "Ay mahirap dito, pero I think I can deal with it kasi alam kong it will be fun. I know it will be fun kahit na mahirap." Gano'n.
Yes, and regardless of the choice and path that we take, they all have hurdles we have to go through and learn from.
Yun, don't be scared to try something new kasi 'di ba, for me kasi ang sarap matuto lalo na kapag nag-e-enjoy ka lang. Yeah.
How about you, Miss Rose? Or you, Rosie? Ano yung, one-liner takeaway mo or pwedeng quote for
Um
today's episode?
Actually, out of all the topics, I just wanted to let the listener know that the substrands are just a stepping stone, and it should not pressure them, but instead just give them a boost or let them know what choice they should make.
Mm, I see. How about
Wow.
you naman, Miss Crazy?
As for me naman, I just want those who are taking and making a big decision in their life right now. This quote of Nelson Mandela, which says that, may your choices reflects your hopes, not your fears.
I love
Wow.
it. Ako naman, isa lang masasabi ko, IEA is not for me. Joke lang. Pero yun, good luck to our future architects, future engineers, future computer scientists, and more.
Yes. And thank you for listening to today's episode. Grabe, dami na nating natakal. And as an IA aspirant, ayun, magkahalong kaba pa rin. But excitement kasama na doon. So, if you want to know more about our guest, you can reach them on their socials. Miss Krizzy?
I am at Kujal Simbulan on Instagram and Kujal Simbulan on Facebook.
And for my Instagram, it's NOPQRSN, and um yun lang. That's my only social media that I will reveal.
You can reach me sa Facebook ko. If you have any question, just message Rel Kali. And you can also reach me through Instagram at Rel Kali.
And ako naman, if you're a future grade 11, a future tuloy, if you're currently a grade 11 student who's struggling then, confused, you can always contact me on Instagram at JadeXXGo.
Also, don't forget to follow us on our Spotify and YouTube. Click nyo na rin yung notification bell to be updated with our new episodes.
If you have any questions, stories, or violent reactions, email us at highcastexclusive@gmail.com.
And kung may say ka naman about your topic, this episode, let us know using the hashtag GAHBAI, GAHBAI.
Yeah, I like our ano talaga, hashtag gabay, diba? So that's it. Stay tuned for our next episode. This is Highcast, where you hear beyond stories.
Basta't buhay ka, welcome ka
Eh,
sa
natapos din tayo.